my dear learners. Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is your very own educator, Sukriti ma'am, your friend, mentor, educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, one and all. And this is your one-stop destination wherein we're gonna have a look at various topics and we are gonna cover various aspects of your curriculum, right? So I will take English. That is my main subject. I I will then teach pol science, history, geography. I will take all these subjects. And for today's topic, like for today, uh, I have decided to make a lecture basically on the Indian Constitution. Right now, what are we waiting for? Because why I decided to make it on the Indian Constitution is because of the fact that we as citizens, we as Indians, as Indian citizens, should be aware of what and how our ancestors had created and had carved out and had made history, how they had created a place in the annals of history, right? In the pages of history, how they had carved out a place in history by, contributing to the essence, to the very soul that is the Constitution of India, in which our rights and duties are mentioned. So we should be uh, aware about our rights and about the duties and about how our Indian Constitution is written, so to say. All right. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Let's dive deep into the ocean and let's get started. So the Indian Constitution is a systematic, pardon me. The Indian Constitution, it's a systematic outgrowth of the following factors. Now you need to keep in mind 4 factors, right? What are they? They are India's subjection to colonial rule and struggle for independence. So we all know that India was colonized by the colonizers. Who were they? They were Britishers. And even India has been colonized time and again, and has been subjected to a lot of agony and a lot of suffering. So yeah, India has undergone a tremendous and a huge amount of a paramount amount of struggle, right? And Indians, those who were genuinely, those who were genuinely interested in the interest of nation, in developing nation, in development of the nation, they were actually subjected to cruelty. They were oppressed. They were suppressed. So that is what we how we should that is why we should try to understand. So how India struggled in order to come out of the shackles of those colonizers. That's what we mean by struggling, right? Then the second one is the ideological and intellectual inputs provided by stalwarts like Gandhiji, Nehru ji, Ambedkar ji, Rajendra Prasad ji, and others. Now, see, India was a golden bird, is a golden bird, and will always remain a golden bird. India is a nation which is referred to as secular, which is actually a secular nation. But we should not forget the roots. India, first and foremost, uh, it gives rights to each and every individual, But that doesn't mean, I mean, it does mean that we can, if we find that our opinions or our perceptions don't match uh, with the government or with the prime minister or with the president, then we can question them. That is what democracy is all about, right? But that doesn't mean that you create memes or use that, uh, you know, uh, on social media you start creating a mockery kind of thing. No, not at all. That doesn't mean you should respect, revere. Where has that reverence gone? Where has that reverence for the teachers, for the educators, for the prime minister, for the president? That reverence should be there for the constitution book, for Bhagavad Gita, for the Bhagavad Gita. If I talk about the Bhagavad Gita, nobody, people are reading novels, people are reading books, people are reading they're watching all sorts of shows on Netflix, but they aren't reading the Bhagavad Gita or the Ramayana or the Quran or the Bible, right? Um, but we should be familiar and we should definitely follow the morals and the values that have been mentioned in our scriptures, in our Vedas, right? I, being a Hindu, I want to know about my constitution, and therefore I am here in front of you. And I want to enlighten you guys also about it, so that you also get to know about how strong India is and how powerful India is, and the kind of architecture and the kind of technology that India possessed, and the kind of cognition, the cognitive level that India was at. It's unparalleled. All right. Now, moving on, the ideological and intellectual inputs provided by, I have discussed this, stalwarts like uh, Gandhiji. So Gandhiji was a pioneer, Nehruji was a pioneer, Ambedkar, Rajendra Prasad ji, you must have read Indigo again. I'm referring to this chapter. So when you read uh, the last lesson, then you get to understand, then you get to know that how important is one's language. It's related. It's not only a language. It's related to one's identity, right? So our language is our key to the present. That's what we get to see in the last lesson, which is written by Alphonse Dore, right? And when we get to the point of when we reach Indigo, chapter Indigo, we get to the point wherein we are talking about, how Rajendra Prasad ji kept on going with Gandhiji everywhere, wherever he followed him, and how the chain of events took place, right? So then, liberal democratic ideas of representative government, adult franchise, elected institutions, etc., which was more pragmatic and commensurate with Indian ethos. So it basically echoes with Indian values, with Indian notions, with Indian morals, yeah, with Indian essence, with Indian quintessence, right? With the soul, which is the Constitution of India. So you should, one should be liberal. One shouldn't feel that one is in a cage. No, we are golden bird. India is a golden. India was always and is and will always be referred to as a golden country with a lot of gold, and we had a lot of gold and diamond and all sorts of stones, and that holds importance, and that holds that significance, that holds that aura, that cosmic power, that cosmic energy, which is very much present, which is very much prevalent. And in the ancient era, in the ancient epoch, they all knew how to use. They all knew how to use astrology, how to read astrology, how to do astronomy. They knew everything. That is why even in if I talk about Hanuman Chalisa, the accurate distance, how can the accurate distance of the sun and the earth be spoken about in Hanuman Chalisa? Everything is mentioned in our Hindu scriptures. But the way the colonizers had manipulated the citizens, the people of India, is really I shouldn't be saying that word remarkable, but they were very clever. They tried this policy of divide and rule. See, we have this hierarchy, right? We had Brahmins, then we had Kshatriyas, then we had Shudras, right? Nowadays also we have hierarchies. If we talk about a school, taking an example of a school or any other institution, we have sweepers, right? So they were considered under Shudras. They were given a proper strata. They were given a proper name, right? Then if I talk about that untouchability part is that was done by colonizers only, and some of the Indians, I am not taking their side. Some of the Brahmins might be bad, might be cruel, might be callous, but others weren't. Otherwise, even in Ramayana, uh, we get to see how Ram is really respectful and how Ram is actually so concerned about his friend, and uh, or does not want anything from his friend, and even Ramchandra ji eats from uh, I'm not able to recollect, but uh, he eats from उनके हाथों से खाते हैं. um, why am I not able to recollect? Okay, so keeping that part aside, but he eats from especially Shudra. Nahi. Okay. All right. I'll check and I'll come back to you, guys. Apart from the above cited factors, many factors have contributed to affect the constitutional provisions, and it would be far from truth to accept that Indian constitution is still in the process of evolution. So it is still in the process of evolution. It has not evolved. It is still in the process of evolution. There are certain things that that they need to be changed. How people have perceived these things are very different. जैसे लोगों ने सोचा है इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में, इन सब जैसे उन्होंने जताया है अंग्रेज़ों ने हमें डिवाइड एंड रूल करने का, कि हमें हम हमारा प्रॉपर एक सिस्टम था. वेदास थे जिनको फॉलो करते थे, वेदास को मैनिपुलेट करा. उन्होंने हमारे स्क्रिप्चर्स के साथ खेला, उन स्क्रिप्चर्स को मैनिपुलेट करा, और फिर दिखाया कि हम जो है, हम शूद्र को अनटचेबल के बिल्कुल उनसे वो नहीं करते. और क्षत्रिय सिर्फ वॉरियर्स होते हैं. वो एक फैमिली को आगे ले जाने का एक कर्तव्य निभा रहे थे, काम करते. जैसे आजकल होते हैं बिजनेसमैन, दे वांट देयर child also to be a businessman so that he or she can continue the business, the legacy they can carry forward. A teacher would want, an educator would want her child to be an educator, right? An IS officer would want his or her child to be an IS officer. A doctor would want his or her child to be a doctor, right? So इसमें हार्म ही क्या है? मुझे तो कोई हार्म नहीं दिखता है. although I know uh, मैं ब्राह्मण्स की साइड नहीं ले रही हूँ, लेकिन मैं ये बोल रही हूँ कि हायरार्की हर जगह होती है, अभी भी होती है। अभी क्या आपके आईएएस ऑफिसर्स नहीं है, वो भी हायरार्की है। अभी आपके जितने भी बड़े बड़े अफसर्स हैं, वो हायरार्की नहीं है, वो भी हायरार्की है। अब जो अब कहते हैं रिच क्लास, फिर आती है अपर मिडिल क्लास, फिर आती है मिडिल क्लास, फिर आती है लोअर मिडिल क्लास, फिर आती है पुअर क्लास, फिर आती है पॉवर्टी स्ट्रिकन क्लास, है ना? तो अभी भी तो हायरार्की है। अब क्यों नहीं कोई क्वेश्चन कर रहा है? बस फूट डालनी थी। चाइल्ड लेबर के नाम पे पहले तो उन्होंने ये करा कि चाइल्ड लेबर के नाम पे उन्होंने अ, हमारे यहाँ पे कहा कि ये अनसिविलाइज्ड लोग हैं, क्योंकि डॉग्स वगैरह, स्ट्रीट डॉग्स ऐसे ही घूमते हैं, स्ट्रे डॉग्स सड़कों पे। खुद अब वो ऐसे दिखा रहे हैं जैसे कि वो बहुत सिंपैथी रखते हैं, बहुत एम्पैथी रखते हैं डॉग्स के प्रति, और उनको बड़े पसंद है स्ट्रे डॉग्स। इंडिया आएंगे तो उनका अलग ही धारणा होगी, है ना? सो दैट इज श्योरली अ केस। एंड इफ आई and yeah, that's about it. I wanted to talk about one other point, which I think I'm not able to recollect right now. But yeah, that's all about it. That in case of dogs, in case of pets, uh, earlier they used to say that Indians, they are, they are not civilized. Their animals are just roaming on the roads. And now in India, no, we don't find animals. We don't find peacocks. They're so rare. We don't find sparrows. We don't find. I don't think that any other uh, bird or any other small, cute little, which I used to find when I was a kid, that exists now, right? So how time has passed, how time has changed completely. It's totally done by Britishers in order to divide us, in order to create this sort of now, for instance, in competitive exams, SCS for SCST and OBCs, uh, age relaxation is there, right? So why do we have age relaxation? I don't understand. Because all right, it's okay, uh, uh, but I ideally government shouldn't be even taking fees, shouldn't be charging fees, both from general category or any other category, whether it be SC, ST, OBC, or any other category. It shouldn't be asking. And why are we paying taxes? I don't understand, because they were introduced by Britishers, let me tell you that. हाँ जी, वो ब्रिटिशर्स द्वारा प्रस्तुत करे गए थे। टैक्सेस नहीं होते थे हमारे इंडिया में। हमारे इंडिया में बहुत अच्छा सिस्टम था, जो कि अंग्रेजों ने आके खराब करा है। All right, so let's move on. I think for today that was it. On this note, this is Sikriti signing off. Namaste.